Hello everyone, and welcome to the surface of the sun. We are broadcasting from the actual surface of the sun. It is very hot here on the sun. It is very much unlike the nice cool weather that is on planet Earth. So yes, indeed, we are broadcasting from the surface of the sun. And a few months ago, we did a whole episode about a group from Holland called the X, T-H-E-E-X, the X. And the X had been around since the early 80s, the late 1970s. I was an early fan or adherent to the X very early on. I happened to discover a bunch of X records in my local record store, and I really liked the records, and I wrote the X some letters, and I told them how great they were, and they actually sent me some more albums and things. And over the years, I've kind of dabbled in what the X are doing. They're constantly recording and doing music with other groups in different parts of the world, and these are some of the X records that we covered in the previous episode. And this is a huge photo book from the Spanish Civil War. It has a couple of singles in it and a lot of photos. The X are very into putting extra stuff in their albums and making their albums look great and feel great, and they are great. And here is one of the best, probably the best X package, LP package. It's called Blueprints for a Blackout, and it's a double record. It has a big booklet in it. As I scramble to make sense of all this stuff in front of me, here are some of the posters and newspaper things that the X put in their records at one point. Here is my favorite X album. It's called History is What's Happening, and it's got a nice feel to it, nice cover photo, very chilling cover photo. And we're working up to an unboxing here of some other X records, but wanted to give you a little bit of background before we moved on to the unboxing. Here's some of the shrink wrap. This album is called Aural Gorilla. It's got a great cover picture of a gorilla. This album is called Polka Harry, which I believe means noise in Dutch. And all of this leads us to this big, well, now it's empty, but it was a big package that contained 6 or 7 X records that we ordered because we really wanted to stay updated with what the X are doing. And so we ordered some records from Holland, and in 2 or 3 weeks this box arrived full of records. And here are the records that came in this box. You can see that the box had some padding in it, and these are the X and X related records that came a couple of days ago. We had to pick these up from the post office, and there's a couple of loose singles that belong somewhere. I think they may have thrown these in for fun, just as a freebie. There's a couple of 45s, and they just tossed a bunch of literature, some advertisements, a postcard, all sorts of stuff. The X are very much into putting extra stuff in their albums, and a lot of times they're just overflowing with literature and extra things, posters and newspapers. And they included this kindly. This is an album called Intifada. Came out about 30 years ago, and it's a compilation of various groups. The X are on here, the Vernon Walters, various other groups. And I had casually mentioned this when I ordered all these records, and it looks like they took it upon themselves to include a copy of this record. It's a really good sounding record. And here are the rest of all the X albums that I ordered and that came in the mail. This album is called Tumult, T-U-M-U-L-T. Looks like it's just a big single gatefold album. It has a stirring photograph, or actually a photograph of some artwork of a person kind of rebelling against being in a jail cell, and it's very kind of heavy metalish. The overall feel of this album is kind of like a heavy metal, dark death metal almost. But this is an early X record that I've never heard. This is an album I used to own called Too Many Cowboys. When I moved to England in the 1990s, I took all of my X records with me, and I happened to lose every single one of my X records. So I have been devoted to getting all my X records back, and this is a double album. It's got a poster and a newspaper in it. It's got an interesting cover. It's very stark and wonderful, and here are some various figures throughout history, and there's Margaret Thatcher, and I'm really looking forward to opening this one up. It's called Too Many Cowboys by the X. I popped this one in my shopping cart. It's by Cannibalis and Vaginas, Songs for a Free Body. I think this was a $3 or $5 album, so I put this into my Dutch shopping cart, and so that's what this is. This is some sort of other album that I ordered. And next up is an album called Disturbing Domestic Peace, and this is very punk rock-ish, and it looks like it has a EP inside it, an extended play record. The cover is very looks like it's ripped from the headlines. It's a very substantial record, and there are two more left. I've always wanted this album, Scrabbling at the Lock. This is featuring the X and Tom Cora. The X have collaborated with numerous people over the years, and the cover is looks like a train engine. The front part of a train has broken through and fallen down here on the ground. I'm losing my voice. Here's all the lyrics all on the back, and lots of liner notes here. And to finish up, we have an album by the X called Dignity of Labor. It comes with a poster and a booklet. You have to expect when you buy X records to get lots of freebies and inserts and booklets and newspapers in your record sleeves, because that's what they do. I'm not sure what this cover signifies, but here is some sort of disaster scene on the back cover, and this was recorded in 1982 in Amsterdam. And so that's the marvelous and wonderful big collection of X records that came in the International Post just 3 days ago, and I'm really looking forward to playing these singles. They look really great. And so that is the X, and we are still going to be broadcasting from the sun as time goes on. We will be here on the sun, as far as we know, for another few more weeks.